Hello, hello. My name is Heather Aston, and this is my channel, TT's Treasures and Treasures. Welcome. If this is the first one of my videos, my camera's in the wrong. Sorry, it's the wrong. There we go. Babe, got to turn it down lower. I look like a glowworm. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. What I was going to say is if this is the first one of my videos you've stumbled across in that little corner of the World Wide Web known as YouTube, welcome. I hope that you find this informative and entertaining enough that you will want to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and change notification bells to all so that you never miss the release of a new video of mine. If you're a returning video, love you. I really appreciate that you guys are here each and every week, especially with nights like tonight. I have asked for every day since Monday for an idea of something to make tonight, and it was crickets. So, I've been scrambling. There's one topic that I really want to cover, but I wasn't able to pull it all the way together the way that I would like to when I present it. And so then, excuse me, sorry. I went and checked, uh, I did a little, had to go to the ladies' room before we started tonight. And, saw a bracelet that I made, not on a tutorial, just on my own. I had never seen it done, found out afterwards that it's a common bracelet. I think Rosanna has made it and whatnot. Hi, Barbara, Kim, Beth, Tina, Cheryl. Hello, hello. So I found out that like Roseanne's already made one like that and this and that. So I decided 2 minutes before we started that that's what I was gonna do tonight because I couldn't pull the rest together, which I'm bummed. I'm basically going to do a show where I take the simplistic designs that we all started with when we started making jewelry, and I'm going to show you how to elevate them, like one step and then a second step, things like that. So, yeah. Hi, Rosanna. I didn't see Tammy sneak in. Hello, my dear. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. So this is just a bangle where a herringbone wraps each individual stone onto a center 18 gauge wire. So I want to do that again tonight, but the difference is that I want to make it daintier. So kind of have two problems with that. I have to make sure that I can find beads that fit onto an 18 gauge wire but are still dainty because that's kind of what I want to do. And like I said, I literally decided I was going to do this right before we went live. So give me just a little look-see for just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. And I genuinely mean that. You can talk amongst yourselves about whatever you want. Because we're all grown adults, right, Rosanna? She'll know what I'm referring to. Yes. Okay, so those fit. Let's see if the round as well. I know I'm smaller than this, but these will work. Okay, so we're going to use strawberry quartz, including some from the, ooh, I love these. You guys, I wish they would have had so many extras of the crackle quartz from the companion bundle. It is the prettiest crackle beads I've hands down. First off, you don't really see all of the cracks in them the way you would expect to. Two, they're a beautiful, like, pink sorbet color that's just gorgeous. If my hair keeps doing this, though, it's getting pulled up because it's driving me. I'm just gonna do it now because I know it's gonna drive me crazy. So I might as well just do it. You'd think I'd be ready for it going on, right? How long have you been coming along? If you're new, I'm kind of a fly by the seat of your pants kind of gal, and that did absolutely nothing. Okay, that's a little bit better, anyways. And so I just kind of go with the flow. Don't always know what I'm gonna do before I do it. But I know what we're doing now, so that's good. Anyways, let's go down to the mat. Did I miss somebody? Hope I said hello to everybody. Okay. Auto slow layout. Okay, so yes, my hands are the right way. These crackle beads, they're the ones I'm talking about. They are like the prettiest, like rose. Oh, the bronze wire. I'm like, what is on my hands? It's from straightening the 18 gauge bronze wire. Yeah, I've gone on their site 3 times since we got these, hoping I would see these and possibly more like them on the site. No luck. So if ever you're perusing and you see something like these, please let me know because they're absolutely beautiful. Where's your outfit? You've never tried a herringbone. Oh, that'll be fun. Rosanna, did you know what I was referring to? Uh, uh, uh. Uh, when I said talk amongst yourselves, really, it's okay. She knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, okay. So if you've never tried a herringbone, this is exciting. I knew you would. Okay. If you've never done herringbone before, this will actually be a really good project for you to watch and learn because these are strawberry quartz. So we're going to use the strawberry quartz. We're not going to use this. I'm only going to use one of these in the very center of the necklace. All the rest I want to be smaller 6mm beads. If I was being honest, I prefer 4mm beads, but finding 4mm beads that fit on 18 gauge wire is not an easy thing to do. But all you need to make this item is some 18 gauge wire. And then to do the herringbone wraps themselves, you want like 20. I'm going to use 24 gauge wire because I'm using a daintier bead. If I would even go down to 26 if like the main bead was 4mm, just so that it keeps that dainty, delicate look. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here staring at those little elashin. I wish those were round. If those were round, that's what we would be doing because those are beautiful. Okay, but since I'm doing 6mm, the 24 gauge will be fine. If you were going to an 8mm, I would say take it to a 22 gauge wire, so on and so forth. Increase it as you go up in size, and depending upon how substantial you want the herringbone wraps to be. I want mine to be very delicate looking. This one, I use, these are 10mm, these are 8mm. So if I remember correctly, this is 20 gauge wire that I did the wraps with. I also, ever since I got like 6 wraps in on this bracelet, I was like, oh, I should have put something in between the wraps. So I don't think I can fit my only bronze. Oh, they do fit. Okay, my itty bitties fit on the 18 gauge wire. That's crazy. I'm so excited now. Okay, because I think it'd be kind of cool to like put a couple of these in between each of the wraps. So, like I said, you're going to want some craft wire. I recommend cutting off like a good at least 10 inches. I'm gonna cut off 12 just because I want to make sure that I have enough, like, or if something were to happen to the end of this, I would want to be able to cut it off and have plenty of room on the other side to go. Okay, then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my bench block. which I just moved, of course. Where did you put it, Heather? I think it's in my drawer, actually. I'm gonna grab my bench block. No, it is not in my drawer. I literally just had it in my freaking hand moments before we started because I moved it because it was in the center of my mat. Anyways, I can do it on here. In a perfect world, you'd want to do this on a bench block, but I'm going to go ahead and do this directly on my desk. It's not the best idea, but it's all right. It's a wood desk. So I'm going to use the nylon side, though, because I don't want to mess up the shape. Sorry, it's going to be loud. I'm just going to go all the way down. Now, if you are doing this on your bench block, and your bench block, see how that curved in as you hammered it? If you have a bench block and your bench block is, why is my camera so far back? I think it's just not on the right spot. There we go. Okay, if you have a bench block in a silicone mold to dampen the noise, I like to flip mine metal side down and hammer on the silicone, like the rubbery thing. Just to protect the shape and integrity of the wire a little bit more. So, wait. Hi. Oh, Ronnie, where am I going to sing? Michelle, right? I believe that's right. Hi, Leah. Okay, so we have our wire. The first thing that we need to, well, we did what we did. We need to pull out a piece of the 24 gauge wire. I'm going to start with the 12 inches and see if that's enough to go all the way around. The herringbone. So I'm just going to start by attaching this wire to the main wire. And then once I get started, I undo some of these wraps so that when I take the herringbone back up the top and wrap around, there's not like that one bulky spot on each of these. So I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, so first things first, I need to decide if I want to go mostly light and then just have the center be dark. That could be kind of cool looking. It would provide some visual interest. It's the same stone, but it looks like I'll have enough to do all of the outer beads in the lighter colors. So I think I want to go really dark on the center stone, just so that there's that bit of contrast. Oh my gosh, you guys, I completely forgot to tell you. Vlad sent out the beads. They're on their way. The first Misfits beads. What is going on with my hair? The first Misfits shipment is on its way to me right now. They put together, I think he said 50 sets. So I'm really excited to be able to bring those to you guys, hopefully at a lower price point. He has a list he's sending me, so we'll find out when it gets here, but it'll be here shortly. Last time he sent a box when he sent over all of the sets from the sale, they got here in like 4 or 5 days. So hopefully that is the case again. I did give him my +4 if that works, but he's shipping via DHL, and DHL has headquarters right here, like 10 miles from my house, I think. So that always bodes well. Ooh, I forgot I put key lime juice in that water. Okay, so we're going to put the first bead on. Oh, Leah, it's not hard at all. I promise. Ronnie, your name's Michelle, right? Ronnie's your guy. Am I correct? Or did I say the wrong name altogether? Okay, so when you do a herringbone, I'm going to start with like the traditional way that herringbones are done real quick, just so I can show you that it's copper. Okay. There are several ways that you can do it, but this is the most like well-known way of doing it. So I cut this piece of wire and I'm going to fold it and give myself about 2 inches right here. This will actually make it easier for you guys to follow along when I'm doing the other version. So we go at a 90-degree angle right there, right? We grab our bail making pliers and we make a wrapped loop. And then we take that off. And now you're going to go wrap down the wire as far as you want, like how many wraps are on the herringbone. It is each 2 wraps initially equal 1 while you're doing the herringbone. Did I even save myself enough wire for this? I did not. Sorry, I forgot which one I was doing. Why did I just put that down there? You guys see what I mean? Things just up and walk away on me. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to cut about, this is 24 inches of copper wire, which is very excessive, but I want to make sure that I have enough. Okay, again, we're going to bend this at a 90-degree angle. I will show you the way that I do my wrap loops, which is I like to go in at an angle like this, not vertical and not horizontal. I start at a 45-degree angle directly into the bend, which gives me more consistent loops that are in the center that I don't have to fix. And now that I said that, oh, not bad. Then you're going to take this, and as I was saying, for each wrap that you want to do, so if you want to go around your bead 3 times, you need to do 6 wraps right here. If you want to go 4 times, you need to do 8 wraps right here. I'm going to do 3 wraps, so I will need to go around this a total of 6 times. And I will tighten up these wraps in just a moment. 5, 6. I'm going to tighten these up. You don't have to, because they're going to be hidden underneath, but I can't do that. That's not the way my brain works. So I should have pushed this up. Still holding on to it with the pliers. Okay, so now we're going to cut this piece of wire off right here. And I'm not even going to worry about tamping down because we're going to cover it. Then you're going to put a center bead. We'll use one of the really pretty crackle glass beads. And then when we go to wrap the next loop, we need to make sure that we've left the same amount of space we have here down here. The easiest way I've ever seen that exampled is to get your most flat nose pliers, and that's the right size. So I'm just going to go and bend right at that part. And then I'm going to make my other loop. And it's actually a little high and it's perpendicular. So I will have to fix that. And then I'm going to wrap this 6 times as well. Just like that. And I'm going to fix the loops so they're facing the same way. So that doesn't really matter. Okay. Now, because I brought back down where the bead is, center that a little better. I can begin wrapping around. So we're going around objects. So the best way to do it is to kind of start the bend of your wire and you're going to go up around the side of your bead. Hold that wire with your thumb. It will keep the tight consistency if you hold that in place as you do your wraps. And then you're going to go all the way under, around, and back over. Sorry, back over. We're going to come to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. You want to try to get this wire at about the halfway point of your bead. And then you're going to hold it, you're going to come up, you're going to wrap around once, all the way back over. Now, when you do the next set of wraps, your wire needs to go behind this first wire right here. So I'm just going to make sure that this wire is under there. I'm going to hold it with my thumb again. I'm going to wrap under and all the way back over. Turn it. Repeat the same on the opposite side. Behind this first bead, up, under, and all the way back around. And then the last one, I'm going to switch this a little bit. There we go. That's better. And we're going to do the last one, and we're going to go up, around, and over. And then the other side, underneath there, up, around, and over. And I go a second time when I end off a herringbone. Now, I personally typically gravitate towards the like one-sided herringbone wrap where the wraps are just like around the top, but I like these as well. But you can see we knocked that out pretty quickly. I'm not exactly happy with this one wrap right here that happened. I don't think I didn't bend my wire when I came up and around. I usually like bend it past a little bit and then bring it back. I didn't do that. And so that's a little fisheye right there, but it's fine. You can go in and kind of squish the wires together. Be careful when you do so that your wires aren't like jumping their place in line. I'll go in with my smaller ones and kind of flatten the herringbone out on either side under the hook just to splay it out a little bit so that you see how impressive this little link is going to be. And then you just connect these together and you can make a necklace, you can make a bracelet, you can turn this into earrings, put the hook up here and dangle something off the bottom here. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Michelle. Okay, good. Oh, misfits. So misfits are, you guys call them misfits because that's kind of what Sam calls them. They're beads that don't meet his wife Cammie's level of quality to where she feels good about sending that out and charging the prices they charge. She likes it the best. So they're either maybe the kiln got bumped, something happened during the firing process, and so it's maybe there's like a bubbly area, maybe it touched another bead, so there's no glaze right there. It may have been a test bead with a new glaze that they decided they didn't want to do the line with. And so they literally had all of those beads. And during my interview, which we're still going to do, and we're going to do it again when there's not snowstorms going on. But you guys he was talking about how he had come up with a way to like put the beads in the kiln so that doesn't happen anymore because they had so many that they weren't able to sell. And then you guys started asking, well, do you sell those? And he's like, well, who would pay for those? And I think it was Miss Emma Evans that was like, me, I will, all day, every day. They're truly one of a kind that way. So they are. There will be, you cannot order if the first person that claims it gets it. That's just the way it is. They will not be making any more because some of them are from the very early 2000s, so 20 years ago, and they made maybe the glaze they used is no longer in production. Maybe they don't even know which glaze that one is because they didn't go with it. That kind of stuff. So, and you can make herringbone rings also. Girl, you need to do that. Oh, that's so true. You would just kind of bend the herringbone instead. I'm gonna have to try that. So, yeah, truly, Leah, go and watch literally in 1 week. Because Beth asked me, Rosanna, and Randy if we would demonstrate herringbone. And I guess she thought, well, one of the three will do it. We all three did it in the same week. So Beth was able to kind of like, she took bits from each of our techniques and made it. I do want to show you, just in case you ever do want to do a single herringbone, I'll show you that, or a one-sided herringbone, teardrop herringbone. There, it goes by many names. So you're going to start muching. Oh wait, is this my? Yeah, that's my 18 gauge one. No, it's not. This is not. Okay. So you're going to start much the same way that you did on the other one. You're going to bend your wire over. You're going to come in and you're going to make a wrapped loop. This is really thick. This would be a really thick herringbone, so you'll get to see what that looks like too. And then you're just going to, again, go around and wrap it as 2 for each wrap you're going to do with the herringbone. Because if you think about it, you go all the way around once, but then you go past and you do like another little half turn. So that's why you need it. And this is your girl being stubborn, not wanting to cut off that last little bit. But for the sake of time, so I can show you the bangle, I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so you just have the wrapped loops, right? You're just going to stick a bead after I straighten this wire out so the bead doesn't get stuck. I've also done herringbone with twisted wire and it's beautiful. Okay. So there we go. We have our bead. The only difference is we don't need to do the bottom loops because we're going to do a one-sided. So you're just going to start, and I'm using a tape wire, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult than I should have made for myself. And you're going to do the same. You're going to go around. You're going to come up over the top again. And like I said, I like to overcorrect and then do my next one. And then for the next one, you're just going to come all the way back around, making sure that the one wrap is behind the other, but not that. These are not. I shouldn't have done this with 18 gauge wire. You're going to go up behind, and you're going to come over the top all the way around and back down. Holy cow. Don't do it with 18 gauge wire, Leah, okay? That was not the brightest idea I've ever had. Okay, up behind that, and then you're going to come up and you're going to go over the top for the third one, and then this is where you're just going to bend. This is very thick and not at all what I intended. You're not going to get, it's not the best representation of it, but that is the teardrop herringbone where you have the herringbone up top and not on the bottom. But like I said, not my best. Pixie, can you stop moving, please? Thank you. Not my best work, but I hope you get the point of it. Pixie, why will he not stay still? Right here, dude. Thank you. But that's a teardrop single, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Now back to the bangle. So when I went on that little diversion, I had just put the 6mm bead on. And we're going to do just what we did except I'm going to get on camera. What we did on that, which is go ahead and bend it around the wire, hold that this wire in place as you go over the top of, round all the way like that, all the way. Now that I've done this side, I'm going to come and take off the extra wraps that I put on here to anchor the wire, because I don't want it to be bulky, especially for this one, because I want this to be a more delicate piece. So I just cut off all but the first like wrap and a half on it. That way, I'm not going over the top of it. Like on this herringbone, you go over the top. I want it to be like really dainty. So I don't want to do that. Okay, so then you hold the bead exactly like last time. You get the wire up, hold it onto the side, go over the top of your core wire, all the way around and back out the other side. And you're going to want to adjust these a little bit. Mine were a little bit more forward than I wanted, but there we go. Then you're just going to take the wire again, and you're going to go behind the first wrap, pull over the top of the wire, under, around, and out, so that now you're on this side. You're going to go to this side. You're going to put your wrap behind the first. Hold it in place with your thumb, Heather. So everybody stays in line. Go over the top of the core wire, all the way around and back. And then that is 2. I'm going to do one more. We're going to get this one behind there. Bring it over the wire, out, around, and back. And if you see, I'm always ending with this, like, instead of just coming out to where this is down, I already have it so that it's easier to tuck behind the other wraps. So we're going to go behind there, up, around, and over. And that is 3 wraps on both sides. So I am going to, oops, don't unwrap it. I'm going to do one extra little wrap like that. I'm going to cut it off. Oh, I did forget to do this. I also cut extra wire so that I could fold this, so that I could push these down without them falling off. So now we have this. Like I said, I want to include some little like spacers in between, because how pretty is that? Now I have to decide if I want more than one. Do I just leave it with the one? I don't know. What do you guys think? Just leave it with the one and then continue the herringbone? I could put 2, I could put 3. I could put something in between 2 of these, which could be pretty too. Okay, we'll just start with 1. But I'm going to slide it down and so that it's safe and out of the way. Then we see that I have about, I don't know, let's see, how much extra wire left over. You want extra wire because it makes it easier, but I have 6 inches, so that's a lot of extra wire. It'll still get used, but I'm not going to cut as much this time. I'm just going to cut, I don't know, like 8 or 9 inches this time instead of 12 or whatever I did it. I'm trying to do Heather, don't use it. Okay. Then I'm going to come back to the core wire. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to wrap around a couple of times just so that it's in place. And I'm going to push those wraps together. And then I'm going to put on a bead. And I'm going to start on the one side. I'm going to kind of bend it, hold it in place, over the top, all the way back under and out. Now, again, Now that it's secure because of the other side, I unwrapped all but the, like, there's one wrap around the initial, where the initial wire started. And I actually didn't get that as close to the bead as I would have liked, so I fixed it. Okay, so now we're on this side. Again, I start with this down, so it's easier. Gonna hold it. Sorry, there's a piece of wire sticking right here from my first wrap. There we go. We're gonna come up. We're gonna go over the top, all the way under, and back to the other side. Flip the wire around. Go behind our first wrap on this side, which I got really far back. There we go. And then we're going to hold that in place, come up over the top of the wire, under, around, and over. Direct the wire down. Then we're going to come up behind this wrap, and we're going to go around, up, over, and back out. Come back over here and just squish my little wires together. I always have one side that looks better than the other, so get used to that too. Then I'm going to come back down under those wraps, over, around, and back out. Okay, I have 3. No, I only have 2 on that side. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing again. We're going to go up behind our previous wraps, over the top, around, and out. And I always do an extra turn when I get to the end of one of the hair clips. Kind of tamp that down. We're going to scoot it down, and now you'll be able to see. Wait, where'd the bead go? Oh, my bead fell off. I'm going to redo this one. If you do what I just did, the bead will just fall out of the center. You do have to pop it out, though, because it will sit in there, especially if you've cradled it really well. And another technique that you can use this for is, I don't know if you guys saw Dominique's video where she did the peas in a pod like charms. That's herringbone. She used herringbone to make it. She just made the wraps more exaggerated and went around. Okay, Cheryl, this is bare bronze wire, but Rosanna and Bethel will tell you that it is very similar to half hard wire or medium tempered wire. The bare bronze is. So, yeah. Oh, what happened? Oh, good. I'm glad your papers are working better. Oh, really? That would be cool too. A bicone? I like doing it around natural stones, so those Botswana agate nuggets. Rosanna look awesome wire wrap. And I take the time to go with my little pliers, and I flatten the wire up around all the little bumpy bumps just to make sure that it looks really cool. Okay. Now the bead's on, so we can try this again. Secure, and I don't even want to be up this high. Why I started that high. I don't like to feel like I have to pull this tight. Because that was the reason I had the weird wrap last time. Okay, and then we're just going to slide another one of these strawberry quartz onto the wire. We're going to go down on the side, form it around the bead, hold that wire with your thumb as you go around and make your first wrap. So you're essentially going around 1.5 times. And then just like last time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come and I'm going to get rid of that extra little wrap there without cutting my herringbone. Okay. You go up there. Okay. And then we're going to come up and around this side as well. Put my thumb there so it stays in place. Go over the wire, back under, and all the way back out and pull down. Remember when I said I have one side that always looks better than the other? But if you're gonna fidget with your wraps, doing so on the first one is really the only time I would say to do it, because you don't want to mess it up after you did a bunch of work. Okay, now I'm coming up behind, over the wire, back under, around, and over. We're going to do the second wrap. Same way. And you really do, once you start going, Beth will tell you, because she made like 30 herringbone in the course of a week. You really do get into a rhythm. And then you just kind of keep going at it, and you can really, especially if you're doing a bangle like this, you can really get it into a rhythm and finish a project like this in like probably an hour's time, I would say. I think it's how long the first one I did took. I will tell you that it's my recommendation that don't start with the bangle. Go and start with either the teardrop herringbone with just one side done, or do the traditional one for your first few. And like I said, do 2 or 3 or 4 of them before you move on if you want to do a bangle like this. Herringbone make beautiful necklaces too. You can also do them like around charms like this, or this is like 925 silver that is really bright. Sorry. You can even do it like this is a flower thief. You could go up and around the back of this, especially if you did like green wire, and it would look like leaves on either side of the lotus flower, which, I mean, how could that not be stunning? I really, like, no joke, that would be really pretty. Man, why do I always have these ideas live and then I'm going to forget all about it? Why? Okay, we're going to slide that one back up to the top and put on our little silver ball. I only had a couple of inches of excess wire, so it looks like 10 inches is probably a good length to cut, if I even cut that much. When you're not having to make the loops and stuff, the amount of wire that you are going to use is going to be exponentially less, because you're not making the loop and then doing all the wraps on top, then going around the beads, doing all the, doing all the wraps on the bottom, a loop on the bottom. When you're not doing all of that, it's a lot. You don't use as much wire at that point. Okay, we're going to come up. We're going to anchor the wire. That was really, I do not want all of that wire wasted. And just like I did the last time, I want to kind of like pull this wire from both sides real quick, just to make sure. Pinch that down. Okay. Next bead. Onto the bangle. I mean, if you look at it, we've been at this for 44 minutes. I did the whole introduction. I demoed the herringbone 2 different ways, and I'm already on my 3rd link for the bangle. So, like I said, once you get going, it's very easy to get into a nice rhythm. I'm going to try to get this first wrap looking nicer. I don't know if I'm just on the wrong side. Looks like that may have been the issue. Okay, hold on to the wire with my thumb, up, around, and hold still, bead, back around the side. Come back up here, take off a couple of those till there's just one little loop left from when you started the project. I almost took it off altogether. Okay. Go up and around the other side. And push that wire. This is another reason I like using thinner wire, because you do get it's a lot easier to manipulate because it's thinner. Even though this one is dude, it might be pretty to do a herringbone with those little ball spacers. That could be cool. Anyway, sorry. We're gonna come up over the top, back around, under, and back out. Like I said, I like to pull it down. And I'm going to go up behind the first wrap, over the wire, wrap all the way around, back out. Second wrap on the other side. Hold it back around and out. Get out of my way, sir. And then we're going to do the third wrap. Up, around, over, around, and out. And the third wrap on the opposite side, over the wire, around, and out. And there's our third little loop. Cut that off, and I will go back and like fix all of the, make sure there's no like pointy wires sticking out or anything like that. I'll fix all of that afterwards. See, this is like a nearly perfect wrap, if I do say so myself. My favorite one that I did recently, which I sold it, I think, was when I did it around the double-sided carved rose. That was really pretty. Okay, stick a gold ball on real quick. I wish these were 3mm. I'm not gonna lie. The 2mm is pretty, but I feel like the 3mm would have been just gorgeous. Might work if I cut more than one piece of wire at a time, so I don't have to keep stopping. There's nothing saying that you even needed to like do enough herringbone to go all the way around, like on this one, especially if you're using daintier beads. You can just do like a loop and put chain there across underneath on the back of your wrist if you don't want to do the herringbone all the way down. That would be a good way to do it. Okay, let's anchor this. Pull it tight on both sides. Okay, slime the beading. Okay. There we go. Out, around, over, back out. Come on this side, take the second wrap off. And that wire. Go around this other side of the bead. Up, around, over, and back out. Then behind the first wrap. You know I'm going to try that after we're done here, right? I'm going to have ball spacers to put in between each wrap, because now I'm dying to see what that looks like. Now, I don't recommend that you do the wraps like way down on the wire, because then you have to like force it up here and it can like mess up your wire. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do 5 on either side, and then I'll do my. I'll have the center one, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna close it off. Okay, around once, around twice. Okay, put the next bead on. We want lightly colored ones. Okay, that has like a little kink in it right there. You can see from when I was pulling it with the pliers. I don't recommend. I've seen people do things like this where they straighten the wire after every curve. I don't recommend doing that. You will work harden it till it's either brittle or ridiculously hard to work with. So come around, take off the first of the 2 wraps. And, oh, I'm on the wrong side. How did I do that? I think I was doing this in the wrong direction. And that's how it's happened. I do think I have it like in a different direction as I did the other one, so it's throwing me off my game a little bit. I'm gonna take it off. Oh, ugh. Let's try that again. Okay. This is the way. I think I like inverted where it was, and I stopped, and so it's not giving me the same like look that I did with the rest of it. Okay, try it again. I was just holding it as if I was left-handed. Okay. Down the side. Holding it real tight. Much better. Over, under, around. Take off. And there, you don't have to cut off this extra wrap at the beginning. If you don't mind it being a little bulkier right there, just wrap over the top of it. I just personally want to keep this as dainty looking as I can. And I wore that bracelet to the birthday party, and everybody was asking about it. I got a couple of those. You did that? Wow, you can really make jewelry. What did you think I was doing? Or like last Christmas, I did a bunch of like custom pieces for like Steve's coworkers, and their response every time was like, "Wow, that's really pretty. She did a good job." Okay, wait. What did she say? Or I guess where I can find it. What do you mean? Sorry. You sent me a photo. Okay, let me go look it up and I can put it up on the screen real quick. Rosanna, the herringbone ring. No, I want to save it. That's beautiful, Rosanna. I'll show you guys in just a second. Sorry. I'm like, that's so pretty. Okay, go back now. Oh, right there. Did you just send that one? Yes. Okay, so let me go over to StreamYard. I'm gonna go over to media assets, add file. That's her ring. That is stunning, Rosanna. Wow, I thought my wrap earlier was good. That is precision wrapping. Oh, and do you have like a ball bead at the end of each side? Or is that just extra wraps? Rosanna, that is so pretty. Sorry, I'm like gawking at my screen. That's absolutely beautiful, Rosanna. Made a number of years ago, so I don't believe there's a tutorial for it. Well, can you please make a tutorial for it, Rosanna? I have some stunning, like, beautiful blue and dark, dark, dark purple Preciosa, which is essentially prestige. In case you don't know, Swarovski was owned by two brothers. One wanted to go one route where only certain people could get beads, and the other wanted them to be like available to whoever wanted them. And from that happened Prestige and Preciosa. They are the same thing. So they're the exact same thing. So if you can't find the Prestige ones, the Preciosa ones are exactly the same. If you go and take any Preciosa crystal and you match it up against Swarovski crystals, the colors are the exact same. They are using the same method, many of the same colors, all of that. They're just not doing it together anymore. They've gone their own separate ways. So just so you know, but yes, just wraps. I actually was looking at it, thinking exactly how I did that. Yes, please. It's so pretty. Oh, you want to see it again? Again? I know, right? Wait, what? Beth, you have me confused. You want to see this again? I don't mind showing it again. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We are, however, coming up to the end of an hour. I can either keep going with this because I'm actually at about the middle point, and I just won't pay as close of attention to the chat. If you would like me to finish this tonight, otherwise I can always, if I'm up to it in the morning, I can go live tomorrow morning and finish it, or I don't know. For this one, I'm doing the center stone and it's bigger, so I'm gonna cut a little bit larger wire, and then I need to cut 4 more for the other side of the bracelet. Did I actually cut this longer? Or am I crazy? No, I did actually cut that one longer. So, it's up to you. You guys need to get to bed because it is late. I understand, especially those of you who are on the East Coast. I need to figure out if I'm going to, like, if this is too late for a lot of you, let me know and I can start it an hour earlier and just do it at 5 o'clock my time. We don't ever change. So during daylight savings, I was Mountain Standard Time. So it was an hour earlier than what it is right now. So if you guys would like me to cut off the extra hour, I will try to accommodate that as often as I possibly can. What did I miss now?
If you change your time to an hour earlier, that just means you're more liable to stay up later more often, which is fine. I don't care.
That could be true.
Um, I came to remind you have 2 appointments tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
So figure out tonight, figure out tomorrow morning, but before you promise your time tonight or tomorrow, 2 appointments.
I know.
Okay. Love you.
It'll be okay.
Okay.
You know, I'm the one in the relationship with the memory issues, and yet he came home early from work today to take me to 2 doctor's appointments that are happening tomorrow, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, what doctor's appointments do I have today? It was funny. Okay. I didn't get. Okay. Oh no, I'm okay. Apparently Steve saw the same thing. That's probably why he came. But if I'm not focused on the chat, I can knock these out pretty quickly. So I just won't be watching the chat. Oh, I have one other appointment tomorrow, and that is with you, so that I can teach you all things StreamYard. This bead shape is a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. What? Ow. Yeah, I'll deal with that after the fact. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm surprised we didn't see Linda tonight. She's almost always on. I just feel bad when it goes silent is all. Especially because this is often like my social life, I guess. Hanging out with all of you. Don't have to worry about how many drinks I have, although I'm not having one tonight. Unless I have wine, babe. If I have wine, I wouldn't mind a glass of wine. Around. Take this back. Oh, we went along this side a little bit too heavy handed and squished it up to where it looks more like a horse-eye shape rather than there. I've also had comments on some of my videos about how long my videos are, and I just to that I would say you don't have to watch it, or if you watch it in double speed, it's only an hour. So for those of you guys who haven't caught any of the morning lives, you guys, I had the best time in California. So much, so much. And if you have watched the morning, you'll know this part of it. But my favorite part of the whole trip was Sunday morning when we got there. Got over to our daughter's apartment to hang out with her and Squish and Jason. And as soon as I said hello, Squishy stopped what she was doing and made a beeline directly for me with this little like sing-songy babble, and then like climbed up on my leg and put her arms up in the air, and it was the best. And my daughter and I, we do this often. Like if we're talking and we say something to her and it sounds like she responds with an actual word, my daughter will like turn the phone off of like pointing at the baby and she'll go, and we had that little, because we've sent each other videos back and forth of like whenever I'm like, oh, you guys live so far away, what am I gonna, is she or her and I gonna have like a close relationship, whatever else. And but all of those videos, they're like 2 and 3 year olds. So it was really cool that she did it as like a 1 year old. I was thrilled. So that moment was the whole reason we go to California to see the baby. But I am very blessed that my daughter is very intentional about making sure that Squishy has has a good relationship with Steve and I. We talk on the phone multiple times, other than when Jason's off work. And that's because, you guys, people are not kind. The dealership he works at closes at 8 o'clock. And the other day, 3 people came in from like 7:40 to 8 o'clock and decided to buy a car right then and there. So he was down at the dealership doing all the financial stuff until 1:30 in the morning. So, even if he doesn't go in till noon, which he alternates back and forth with another finance guy about how early they go in, even the mornings that he is going in later, it never seems to fail that those are the nights he's down at the dealership really late. And so it's hard for, it's harder for him to get up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. And play with school. He does, most of the time after he'll tell me, go get a little bit more sleep, babe. Because Beth will tell you, in the auto sales world, you don't want to like look like you have low energy. Oh, what did I just do? You want to make sure that you're on and ready so that it instills confidence that you know what you're doing. See, just 2 more to go. No. I knew that wasn't looking right, but I finished it anyways, and I shouldn't have. Not happy with the look of that link. I don't know if it's just me, but do you guys feel like when you're doing like smaller, like with this, I'm doing the 6 millimeter bead, whereas when I did the bigger one, I use the 20 gauge, but it's almost like when it's little, it has to be more impressive or it has to be like more perfect. I don't know. I don't know if that's just me, but it's like I think if they have to look a little bit closer to see the intricacy of the method you used. They're like any mistakes you made are more like visible. What's up? You can't be in here working shirtless, Steve. You'll distract me.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, that's some good, babe.
Oh.
Go get some sleep.
Right.
You're right.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Love you.
So much.
He just wrote me out a little note. He could have just said, I'm not feeling good. I'm going to go lay down. But that's okay. See? When I just get to going, you get into a rhythm. It's really like, I know some people say that, and then like you get to doing it, and you're like, this is not at all easy. But that's why I said, rather than starting with a bangle like this, practice the little link ones first. And you can always up the difficulty with the more experience you have. I really do like the little ball spacer in between. And I'm actually glad it's not 3mm, even though just a second ago I said I wished it was. I actually like how it's very like unassuming, right? Come on, Pixie. It's just right in the center. It almost kind of makes it. I feel like if the ball spacer was any bigger, it would look like a bow, which could be cute, but I wasn't going for cute. I was going for elegant. So why did I pull this off? Oh, because I hadn't put the ball spacer on. Okay. The bead. Okay, guys. Now, I would really appreciate it. Wrong wire, Heather. If you guys will let me know some things you would like to see. Like, are there specific things that you have been wanting me to do? Is there a technique that you've never done? that you would like me to demonstrate, stuff like that, please let me know. If there's like beads that you're not sure how to use, you can send me a picture. And I will do my best to like see it, what I have in my stash that's similar. Because sometimes I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and I don't want that to be the case. I don't want you to like see my channel as a one-trick pony kind of thing. I am working on figuring out where to go. I have another one that's beaded, but then I made another piece today. Oh, here it is. So like this just fell off, of course. I like crocheted these little pouches that you can put around cabochons. This is not a cabochon, it was just the one I used for like whatever. Steve was like, oh, you should make it not so tight so it comes you can switch it out. No. The other one I did though, there are beads all around the bail. This is the one that I did tonight. And those are like spinel cubes. And so I'm just gonna connect the two sides around a bead. And then I'll just weave in and out through the stitches on both sides and then pull them tight to go around the bead. I originally made this one to go around this beautiful Moroccan agate that I got from Randy, but it's too wide for this. The stone needs to be a little bit more substantial. So I found some other pendants that I'm gonna, I'm gonna finish this. And the cubes are black spinel and they're faceted. So, it should, like, once the two sides are cinched in, this is really all you're gonna see around the outside of the pendant. You're just really gonna see the spinel pop out away from the darker thread. So this is Mary. Ooh, I could totally do a choker. I have made chokers like that. I like the spacer. I don't know what you mean. I remember that I specifically asked Randy to send me this one because it has like, it looks like a hunk of red jasper, like got stuff to it. It's very tempting to like turn this into a ladybug too. I'm not going to, although I have seen people like make things like this that are actually like a flower shape so that the pendant sits inside and then the petals are out and around. So it's pretty cool. What spacers? You're talking about the little black ones? Yes. And I have made some lace chokers like this. I just need to know, like, this is very simple stitches. Very simple stitches. Like single crochets. And like, if you do want to go down this road, then we're going to go down it. I'm going to tell you that you want to go get the Clover B or 2.25 millimeter crochet hook. This is my go-to crochet hook for when I'm using the thread and stuff. to like finish, like, because you can go looser or you can go tighter and you get a different look altogether. It's just a matter of how you do it. Okay, now we have to figure out how we're going to finish off this bangle. This would also be a beautiful choker. Could you imagine this? Like, oh, Rosanna. How pretty is that? Obviously not. I can't figure out the camera. But look how cool that would look. Like, as a little crown. That could be pretty. Or a headband. That could totally be a headband. It's right between, in between the beads we're making tonight. Oh yeah, they're bronze, 2mm spacers. They're the only spacer I've been able to find that is the bare bronze as this wire, which I'm obsessed with. It's like this and copper because sterling silver is too expensive. That would be so pretty. Now I want to make a headband or a crown. I could make Squishy a little crown to wear when she gets to do the princesses. What would you like me to post, Beth? I'm confused. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we can either form this. That would be a really cool circlet, right? Please do it. Can you please do a circlet like this? I bet that would be a huge hit. Oh, the crochet hook? Yeah, absolutely. I will send you exactly which one I do. Oh, here, I'll just go find it real quick. Hold on. Oh, you know what, guys? I'm going to do something real quick just so that I can show you. Because there's a couple of you that have asked me, like, can you really, like, how are you going to show me how to do this or that? This is how I'm going to do it. Okay, let me make sure you guys are seeing it. You're not. I'm not on the stage yet. I want it all by itself. Full screen lit. Okay, so this is my tab that's open in the same thing. And I'm going to go on to Amazon's website. And I'm going to look for the Clover B 2.25mm crochet hook. And it's right here. Now, sometimes they're in like a lime green color and sometimes they're yellow. But this is the one that I would recommend. I just clicked on this to share it. I'm going to copy the link like that. Post it back over here. And there you go. But this is how I would teach you guys to do things. If I was teaching you how to like start a live stream in StreamYard, or if I was doing a pay class where I wanted you guys to see something or whatever else, this is literally the way that I would do it. So it's like, it's not difficult. I have no problem doing so and like teaching everybody. Okay. Will you guys be upset if I don't finish this? Because right now, the length, I have enough left over at the end that I can scooch these down and do a few more on this side and a few more on this side to create a headband so that we can see how it works. Would you be okay with that? And I will show it to you on a morning live, if not tomorrow morning's live. Because I never even thought of using this for a hair thing or for a crown or for a circlet or whatever else. Look how pretty. Rosanna, you got it, girl. You got it. You know. She's got some of the bronze wire. And she actually got double the amount because she was the only one that got sent the actual bronze wire the first time. But because it was in with the order with the bronze wire, I sent it to Sarah Lovecraft and Beth as well when the owner of Craftwire USA replaced them. He replaced all three. So she lucked out and got the 4-pack twice. That's another thing here. Let me go and pull up that as well, just so that you guys, in case anybody wants to check it out. The starter pack is like 25 feet, 24 millimeter, 20, 18, 20, 22, and 24. So I'm gonna, no, I don't, I want to share, copy link. And this is a guy that I am talking to about being a retailer, small-time retailer for his wire and stuff, but I have asked him to look into the cost of doing head pins, eye pins, and ball head pins at least, as well as jump rings in multiple sizes of the wires. That way, you guys aren't stuck trying to figure out how to either make your own or trying to find, because I'm going to tell you, they're expensive. I looked on Etsy and stuff. You want like $6 for 25 ball head pins in the bare bronze wire, which is ridiculous. I would never spend $6 for 25. And they were like 30 millimeter. They weren't even like 2-inch long ones. They were like baby ones. And I was like, are you kidding me? So he's currently talking to his people and whatever else. He has a lot of wire, guys. He has brass, he has nickel, which I know some people have nickel allergies. So, and if you don't, what I've learned from watching Becky and Jenny is that the more you're exposed to it, the greater the chance of you developing a nickel allergy. So, but he does have nickel silver. He's got twisted and half round and square, and I believe he has those in all of the wires that he has. So, I would probably start out with the bronze, copper, and something else. And Sarah Lovecraft loved the copper. She was supposed to play around with it, like using the liver of sulfur or whatever else. And I know I was supposed to do that too, but I forgot. I couldn't do it this past weekend because I was in California. So we're gonna work on that this weekend so that I can show you guys what the different processes look like when it's done. And I'm gonna do it both with the bronze wire and the copper. He has a copper set though that is all the itty like 30 gauge, which is great for crocheting. You can do it with 26 or 28, but I have found that the best, like to get the best chain, I don't know, I'm doing that. It is a chain when you're done. That the 30 gauge wire is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, but anyways, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that Leah, I hope to get a message from you saying, here, Heather, look, I did the herringbone. I love to see when you guys have success, especially if I'm the first person who has taught you how to do it. I'm going to tell you the same thing I'd say every single time. Go and watch multiple people do the same technique. We all learn differently. We all teach differently. You can have 3 people do the exact same process every time, but maybe the way they explain it, or maybe they use like analogies or whatever that click with you better. And so then that's when you're like, oh, well, I can do this or that or whatever else. So, yes. You missed it, Carolyn. I will show you up close what I did. We made this herringbone. It was gonna be a bangle, but I have enough wire on the edge that I'm gonna scooch things down and I'm gonna try to make it into a headband. We also, like I was showing, Rosanna does the circlets or like homecoming or quinces crowns. Very, very beautiful. So, yes. But I'm glad you were here, Gracia. I know I just called you Carolyn. I apologize. I hope you don't mind that I tell everybody they've been calling you by the wrong name. You gotta speak up for yourself, honey. If you prefer to be called something, you should let us all know. Because now that we all know, we call you by the name you prefer, which is Gracia, which is amazing. So, anyways, though, guys, I will see you if I don't post a video or go live sometime tomorrow, which I have appointments. So it'll just depend on how I feel in the morning. If I feel great, I'll go live. But yeah, if not, then I'll see you Friday morning and I will show you the completed project. And I will post it in the group. I hope that you guys all. Oh, you just couldn't type. Okay, good. All right, guys. Love you all. I so appreciate you guys tuning in and showing up for me all the time that you do. So have a wonderful rest of your evening. And if this is somebody watching in the future, have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, whatever it may be. But as always, happy beading, guys. Mwah.